Okay boys, we are currently working on releasing a huge video for next week, so I've had to delay how to grow a tight beat channel in 2022 to make sure I nail it on the head with all the new info that we have. But I still wanted to drop some value bombs for you guys, so I asked you to send us questions about selling beats online. So without any further ado, let's get into the first question. All right, I just joined the server, but I see some messages about email marketing. I've been trying for 2 months now thus far, and it just sucks. I've collected a list of plus or minus 200 mail addresses that I've acquired after messaging them, so they're supposed to be interested and expecting an email from me. However, my open rates are like 0 to 2%. What can I do to fix this? So just to give you guys some insights, open rates should usually be around 20% as an industry average. So with his being so low, there's definitely some other factors going on here that we need to address. But if you are using email marketing and your open rates are between 5 and 15%, what you need to be doing is testing out different subject lines and changing the audiences that you're sending to. Now, for subject lines, whenever we need to send out an email for Matthew May or for Dilly, we pull out our 75 plus winning email subject lines that we have in our course for inspiration. But with his open rates being so low, I asked, how are you collecting these emails? He said, I'm collecting them via Instagram DM. I speak to people, then ask if I can send them updates about my new beats. So our guess is that this producer is talking to artists who really aren't that committed in the conversation with him, and when he asks for the email, they give him the email because they simply want the conversation to end and they feel like it's just awkward. So what I would tell this producer is, instead of asking for emails and manually adding them yourself, it's always going to be best practice to send a link to these artists and actually make them have to put in the effort to sign up and join your email list. And if you do that and it still keeps on failing, this might not be the best way to collect email addresses, and you may need to actually dive deeper in conversation with these artists. Second question, do I need to niche down on YouTube? The answer to this is 100% yes. If you are going to be growing a tight beat channel, you are becoming a utility channel. Meaning to most of your viewers, you are simply the Travis Scott tight beat guy. And if you post something different, the audience that you have will not respond well because you are simply not that guy to them.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me, you're not that guy.
If we started posting home improvement on this channel, you guys would not care because we are not that guy to you, and you might not be interested in that content. Posting the same niche content over and over again on your channel is extremely important due to the one metric that we believe plays the largest role in growing a YouTube channel in the first place. And the evidence for that metric is that my one friend who paid Daryl Eves, he's known for like Mr. Beast's close friend, he's also a big YouTube guru, he paid him $800 for a 45-minute consult call. And Daryl could only emphasize this one advanced analytic that we never paid attention to before or even tracked. But let me tell you, this metric is only possible to nail with a channel that posts similar niche content over and over again. So, what is that metric, you may be asking? Well, you will have to turn into next week's video to know, but it is 100% directed to getting returning viewers on your channel. Staying on track with YouTube here, what is a good click-through rate for my beats? So with this question, it's important you never compare to anyone else's data. You always want to compare with your own data. And I'm also not just going to tell you to do this, I'm going to show you how to properly do that and figure this data out. All right, so to show you guys how to do this, you want to go to the advanced mode in your YouTube analytics. And once you're here, click the last 90 days and then click views by video and change this into impressions click-through rate. Now what we need to do is, you'll see the average percentage for your click-through rate on your channel. But what you need to do is click this impressions and click it right there, so that way it's going to sort your videos by the most impressions that YouTube is pushing out. And then you want to look to see which videos are below average or extremely below average. And these are the videos that you now want to go ahead and change the title or thumbnail to start testing and hopefully pull them up to your average or above average. As you can see, we have a few that we're currently testing with our new thumbnail strategy. So there you go. Now, for a full breakdown of how to do this testing, we will be covering that in next week's video about growing a tight beat channel on YouTube. So make sure to tune in. Heading back over to email, how do I give value in email marketing? Well, we're going to give you 3 ways, and 2 of the ways are the ways we're actually currently testing with Dilly and Matthew May. So the the first way is with giving resources. Okay, so we get it, right? You're probably not the music marketing genius, but if you look and find resources for your artist and you share them to your email list, I can guarantee you people will not be mad at you for trying to help them. The second thing is a free beat. So one of the things that we've been testing with Dilly has been sending one free beat to his email list once a week. And let me tell you guys, the responses that we get are insane from his email list. People literally love just getting one free beat. And the third is doing a weekly check-in with your list. What we're doing for Matthew May is just an email of like, hey, how was your week? Here's what I did, and there's 5 new beats on my beat store this week. Go check them out. Literally, one of the emails that we recently set out was just asking people if they like guitar or piano beats better. It really is just that simple. The whole point of these emails is simply to build engagement and conversation. And then once you build up this engagement, you can get a result like us, where we launched a sales email and Matt got a 77% open rate on the sales launch. A 77%. So with properly setting up his email and website, this campaign has made Matt more than $1,000 in the past 4 days. And I will have Matt on soon to talk more about the whole case study, and we're also gonna break this down and go into it more within the CCS course. Next question, how do I grow on IG as a producer, and what hashtags are the best? So first off, according to studies recently done, hashtags don't even do too much in terms of post reach nowadays. What they mainly do is they categorize your post. And to get overall traction, the best content that you can start making is making reels, as IG is heavily pushing reels to compete with TikTok. Now, if you want to learn more about growing your IG, we just made a banger of a video on the topic last week. It's almost 20 minutes long, and it covers how we have gained over 5,000 plus followers in the past 90 days. Next question, do you watch your own videos as soon as they drop to get extra likes and watch time? I'll be honest, this one really cracks us up. We mean, in our opinion, this really won't dramatically change anything with your channel and your views. And odds are, if you're doing this from the same IP address on the accounts, YouTube won't probably even count them, or if they do, it will delete them after about a week or so. And even if you do use a VPN or you send it off to your friends for them to watch and comment, odds are this will do absolutely nothing to the measure that you think it will. It's not gonna blow you up. Next question, yo, does anyone know how the BeatStars search engine works? So first off, I wanna say that we have no scientific proof or clue, but there's definitely some best practices I would say after just doing one search. If you go ahead and search for Aaron May type beat, all the results have the tag of Aaron May type beat in them. So it definitely makes sense that the tags, description, and title play a role in the BeatStars SEO, and you should fill that stuff out. Now, what we can also see is this Marrow guy is on the top of literally all the results, which is where we feel confident in saying that when it comes to search, BeatStars probably strongly prioritizes beat sales for ranking beats. As do you want to know the best proven concept for good quality beats? It's sales. And you need to remember, BeatStars has to focus on showing off good beats to their users when they search. Because if they don't, the artists who are searching will be like, yo, this platform constantly never has any good beats. I'm not going to search here anymore, and give them my business. So to wrap the whole thing up, don't really put all this much time into trying to hack the SEO of the algorithm. I would say just use common sense to target low competition keywords if you want to play the SEO game on BeatStars, but how big that audience is, nobody knows. Next question, yo, at what point should I start implementing email marketing? Right away. We do not care if your weekly campaigns are going to 3 people. Those 3 people are the only thing you have, and we need to make them count from day one. Because if we go on the complete opposite side of the spectrum, Dilly has been collecting an email list of about 45,000 people for the past 2 years. And we can only send to about 30,000 of them because the rest of them are simply not engaged because Dilly was never sending out that many campaigns. So it's only going to be a waste if you're collecting emails and you don't send to them, or you wait until your list is big enough to send to them. I mean, imagine all the shit that you've probably signed up for the past 2 years. You probably don't even remember any of it because it's been so long ago, as you will never build an engaged list if you are not an engaged sender. So if you got 5 subs on your email list, start sending, as email is the best way to build trust with non-customers and have your previous customers keep on coming back for more. Next question, should I have my own domain and my website? So first, with a domain, you want to have one because if your customer knows they can go to MatthewMayMusic.com, it's a lot easier than typing in MatthewMayMusic.infinity.airbit.com just to listen to some beats. Now, another thing I see a lot is, Brian, I'm just gonna wait until I make sales to get my own website. And do not wait until you're generating sales to do this. as ironically, not having your own domain, or more importantly, your custom website, could be one of the very first reasons that you're not even getting sales in the first place. And there's many more reasons why you should have your own website that we have talked about in videos before, plus in our course. But one of the biggest monetary benefits have been banners. Yes, a freaking banner has done some insane stuff for the Matthew May website. Whenever we do sales for Matthew May, we use a banner on his site because it lets people know that there's a sale. And to give you insights, the analytics on the screen right now show the coupons that we've put as banners and the revenue that they've generated. And remember, these banners are only active on the site for probably 3 to 7 days. Next question, is it better if YouTube views come from recommendations or from search? So what I want to say about this is that not one is worse than the other, but there definitely is one that's better. To grow a really popping YouTube channel, suggested and recommended is the best way to go, as YouTube will be showing your content essentially on autopilot, because you will not be relying on people to search and then click on your videos from there. As if you only rely on search, your views will be capped at how big the audience searching for that content is. And I know I've said this multiple times before, but this is a topic we will break down even more and compare and contrast in next week's video with our new method. Next question, what are some ways you discipline yourself? We all know what we should be doing, so what are some ways we can consistently do these things on the days we aren't motivated? Now, this is an awesome question I do really want to answer. So of course, Heat is a team, but this will all be from my personal experience. And I still feel like I can answer this question because it really does overall align with the Heat brand. So one quote I always remember when I don't feel motivated is that extraordinary accomplishments come from doing ordinary things for extraordinary periods of time. This quote comes from Alex Hormozy. He is definitely someone you need to follow as an entrepreneur trying to make a living from your music. Literally, when you break it down, a large role in the success of Heat has just been uploading one video a week for the past year, along with doing short form content 5 to 7 times a week. And I also like to think about the 80-20 rule, where hugely successful people say that 20% of your efforts gives you 80% of your results. So over time, I really tried to think and analyze what are those 20% of things that drive results in my own life and for Heat, and I put my working time towards those 20% tasks. So my advice to you would simply be stop thinking in days, but think in months and years. Especially if you really want to do something big, you need a bigger timeline. Next question, I make Afro beats. I'm trying to find a niche on YouTube, but most of the big guys that make Afro beats target both the big and the rising artists. By the way, I have 400 subscribers. In this situation, what can I do to really niche down and build up my channel? I'm just reading these questions off my laptop, so they have to sound so robotic when I read them. I apologize. Okay, so you have 2 options. The first is just put some more time into finding smaller artists that would be less competition. They're out there, you just have to search for them. Or 2, the new method that we are testing is target the highest competitive artist. Now, while this advice may sound crazy, by doing this might be your door into getting suggested and recommended views from YouTube with those higher competitive artists. Like I said, this does sound crazy compared to the usual way we think of growing a type beat channel, but we will fully explain the new method that we're testing for music producers making type beats in 2022 in next week's video. Next question, do you think different genres earn more than others when it comes to sales? So while there is definitely some logical reasoning in this question, to us, it's hard to say that any one is better than the other without any data. In our opinion, the only way to get somewhat of an answer to this is if the beat stores released data of the top selling genres and you analyzed it. Next question, how can I make a living from selling beats online without any real following and just from a small amount of views or traffic that I currently get to my beat store? Well, that is a perfect question, as we have the answer to you in this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Make sure to watch this one. Peace out.